Hey guys, in this lecture, we want to make a front and back bodice block from scratch. Okay, so first of all, let's bring our avatar. So we want to use a Missy Curvy size 10 for this. So I'm going here and you can press Y key to open this library. And now I'm going to go to avatar and let me go to female and yeah, you can select any. Okay, so let me select my avatar. I just double clicked on this, left click on my mouse. And now I have this avatar here. And now I want to change sides. Okay, so let me go to side. And here you can see we have several folder and they are saying like they are US ASTM sizes. Okay, so I want to use ASTM Missy Curvy size 10. Okay, so let me go to this. It's a 6'8", and this is the size I want to use. Okay, and so now I have my avatar. Let me close this. Okay. And next thing I wanna do here, I wanna bring my specification sheet. So how to do that? You can right click on your mouse and you will see this pop-up window. And here we have the option add background image. Okay, let's go to that. And now I can bring my image. I can go to my folder. Okay, let me go to my OneDrive. And now I want this spring 2026 and okay. Okay, let me go back and see. Oh yeah, now I can see it. So make sure you have a JPEG or PNG, otherwise you can't see here. Okay, so now I have it and let me say open. And I can see here and it's pretty small. You can make it bigger, like you can scale it 200% or let me do 300%. Yes, I can see this and I can rotate it. I can increase opacity. I want to make it 100%. Okay, it's still small. Let me do 500 and see. Yeah, now I can see clearly. Just say okay, and I have this here. Okay, so now we wanna, yeah, so you can move it here also, okay? But it's okay, I can keep it here. Now let me do 2D, okay? And so I can see this. And now I wanna make my rectangle, okay? So I can add these measurements on that. So how to do that? So for that, I can use white fabric or I can bring a fabric also. So let me go here and let's find a muslin fabric. Okay, so muslin, enter, and I want to use this 22 by 22 and I can add tool space. Okay, and now I'd say okay, close it. Okay, and now I have it here. Okay, and now I can draw my rectangle. Okay, and in garment specification sheet, so we have measurement, and yeah, we are using Missy Curvy size 10. Okay, and now let's Yeah, it's saying Missy size 10, and yeah, all the measurements are in inches. So if you want to do this setting, like maybe you want to change unit, you can go to user setting and you can change this. Okay, so make sure you know how to bring this inches. Okay, so now everything is fine. Now we can go to rectangle tool. Okay, you can find a polygon. Okay, so it's here, or you can press S shortcut key on your keyboard, and now we have this. Okay, so now instead of drawing, what we want to do here, we want to left click. Okay, so we can get this pop-up window, and here we want to enter size, okay, height and width of this rectangle. So let's see our specification sheet. So in specification sheet, first thing we want to find out the widest point. So it's chest width. Okay, and it's here, but we are looking for half because we want to make a half pattern, and then we will unfold it, or we will make copy of it. Okay, so this is the measurement we want to use here. So it's 8.875. So now we know our width. Okay, so let me enter width. It's 8.875, but I want to use a 9. Okay, I don't want to use fractions. Okay, so I want a whole number. Another thing, we need height. Okay, so height, we can take this height, center back body length from HPS, high shoulder point, high point from HPS. It's highest point from shoulder HPS. Okay, so for height, we want to use this length, center back body length from HPS. Okay, so we have 16.75. So let me take a whole number 17. Okay, so now we have our rectangle, and just say like okay, because we want to just one. Okay, so now we have our rectangle. I can move it here, and now I can add some internal lines. Okay, so first thing we wanna do here, we wanna draw these lines, like how much drop shoulder we want. Okay, so we wanna add internal lines this side. Okay, so how to do that? The first thing you can do here, you can select this. Yeah, and we wanna select our line, okay, using this tool. Okay, just left click, and now it's selected, and now we want to go down. Okay, so how much? So you can see it's saying back neck drop from HPS. Okay, so it's 0.75. Okay, so let's right click on it and say I wanna offset pattern outline. I wanna do this. Okay, or let me see. Offset, yeah, offset as internal line, because we want an internal line. We don't want to extend our pattern outline. Now we already know the distance, right? It's 0.75. Okay, we want to go down 0.75, and looks good. And even we can see preview here. Okay, so just say okay. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, so this is for back neck drop. Okay, so now we wanna front neck drop. Okay, so for that we need to enter 3.25. Okay, so again, left click and right click and offset as an internal line, and here we wanna enter 3.25. 3.25. Yeah, and just say okay. So now we have both back neck drop and front neck drop, and now we wanna mark our shoulder drop. It's 1.25. Okay, so again, right click and go to offset as internal line, and we want to enter 1.25. So let me sign 1.25. Okay, and just say okay. Next thing, we wanna mark here our across front from HPS. Okay, so let's do that. So it's 5. Okay, so go here, right click and offset as internal line, and we want to enter 5 inches here. Say okay, and so we have this. Okay, and next thing we want to mark we want to mark this armhole drop from HPS at back. Okay, so let's do that. So let me enter 9.5. Okay, and yeah, one more thing. So remember, like we entered a whole number. It was 9. It was 17, but the actual length is this. Okay, from HPS. So let me enter that also. Set as internal line, and I wanna enter 16.75 and just say okay. So we mark all the lines at this side, and now we wanna draw a vertical line. Okay, so select this, and we wanna go this side. Okay, so how much? Okay, so first thing we wanna mark here. Yeah, first thing we wanna mark here a neck width. Okay, so it's 3. So let me mark that. I'll right click, offset as internal line, and I wanna mark 3 and just say okay. So this is neck width. Now I want a shoulder width. It's a 7. So let's go here, offset as internal line, and I wanna mark 7. Say okay. And so yeah, we need just 2. And next thing we can mark, we can, let me move the side and see. So next thing we can mark these. Yeah, we didn't mark a front, across front and across back. Okay, so let's mark this. So remember we went 5 inches down. Okay, yeah, and now we want to mark these. Okay, so let's do that. So let me select this. Okay, and yeah, so here we need to add point. So how to do that? For that we have a tool. Okay, so let me click and hold, and you can see we have a tool. It's saying add point or split line. Okay, we want to do that. So now I click anywhere. Okay, right click, and we get something like this. It's saying do you want a split line? Yes, we want. And how much? So for back we want a 6.625, and for front we want a 6.25. Okay, so first let's do for back. So 6.625. Yeah, so it's here, and just say okay. And now we want to mark for front. Okay, so it's the same thing. You can like click anywhere, and it's showing me like I want to divide this. So let me, and Let me click here and see. Okay, yeah, I think this is fine. I can enter here. So I wanna go 6.25. Yeah. And yeah, it's here. It's weird because I don't want to point here. I want to here. So let me try to enter here. 6 point. Oops. Oh yeah, I can see I entered the wrong thing. Okay, let me do it again. Okay. So click here, right click, and yeah, I entered 0.625, which was wrong. So I need to enter 6.25. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, that's I want. Okay, so I want these points here. Okay. So now I have these point and now I wanna mark this distance. So this was the widest point and we took 9 inches instead of 8.875. Okay. So now we wanna exact 8.875. So again, click here, right click and enter 8.875 and just say okay. Oh, yeah, we don't want this side. Control Z. And let's do it here. Okay, so here we can see, so this distance is 4.354 and this one is 4.64. It means we need to change this. Okay. So how much? 8.875. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, and that's we want. We wanna hear. Okay. So now I think we mark everything except this waist line, okay, waist width. So let's do that. So again, click here. Oops. A right click and I wanna enter 6.875 and just say okay. Okay, so now we have everything and now we can get our front and back bodies. Okay, so how to do that? First we need to draw a line. Okay, so let me take my internal polygonal line tool. Okay, and now first I wanna grab my back. Okay, so how to do that? But yeah, first I will draw and then I will trace it. Okay, so for back, let me go here and at this point and here, this point, and yeah, this point, and now I wanna go down and just double click to finish this. Yeah, still there. Hey, Control Z, double click, or let me press escape key. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. So now I have my back and now let's draw front. Okay, so start from here. and armhole, and I can finish it here. Okay? I don't need to go down, but I already have that. Okay, and now we want to give a curve here. And so how to do that? So for that we have a edit curvature tool. Okay, and we wanna use that. Yeah, so let me make it like that. So now it looks like a neckline. Okay, and I wanna refine my armhole. This is my back armhole. Okay, and now it looks good. And I can trace my front and back. Okay, so how to do that? So for that we have a trace tool. Okay, I can grab that. And now when I'm tracing, I can click and press and hold shift key and select all the parts. Okay, so how to do that? First, suppose I have this line, I can click on that. Now press and hold shift key here, left click here, left click, press and hold shift and click. Yes. Now it's finished. Now make sure you are on this line, selected line, and right click and say I want to trace as a pattern. Okay. And now we have our back. Okay. So let me bring it here and left click. Now I want a front. Okay. So again, I can start from here. Left click, press and hold shift, select this, solve front armhole, this, and this part. Okay. And now make sure you are on this yellow line and say trace as a pattern, and I can place it here. Yeah. So now I have both front and back. I can flip this. Okay. So let me do that. So I can select, right click. I want to flip horizontal. Okay. So this is my front and this is my back. Okay. And now you can see we have some extra points, internal line. We want to remove these. We can do that. How? So make sure you have your edit pattern tool. Okay, and you can select these points. Oh yeah, here. Select these points and just press delete. Okay, select, press delete. And here I don't want it. Delete. And now let me delete these points. And yeah, this one. Let me keep that. Okay. And another thing we want to do, we want to extend these lines. Delete. Yeah. Now we want to extend these lines. Okay. So if you see now, like you can move them. They are not extended to your pattern. Okay. Or if you move these lines, they will stay here. Okay. So suppose you want to move this, it's staying here. Okay. So how to do that? So select line and say, I want to extend to pattern outline. Okay. And the same thing you can do for this one. Extend pattern outline, extend pattern outline, pattern outline. So now we already extended and now they are ready. and we can try on our avatar. Okay, so let me do that. So and yeah, let me go to this and say I want to reset. I don't want that picture. Okay, and now I can select this and I can move it here and I can deactivate this. Now I want to use these. So this is my front and this is back, and I can unfold it. So I can click here and I can say I want to unfold this. And back, I wanna unfold this. So now we have both front and back, okay, and we can select these and I can do auto 3D arrangement. Proceed. Just say okay. It looks fine to me, except yeah, this pattern, yeah, it was deactivated. And now I wanna stitch. Okay, so select these and there is a option we can stitch. Oh, yeah, auto showing. And so stop, we wanna close and say okay. Yeah, it's affecting everything. So let me delete this. Yeah. And now it's stitched and I can simulate this by pressing and holding space bar on my keyboard, or I can click on this. And here we are. Okay. But yeah, still like we can adjust this, we can add dark. Okay. But yeah, it looks fine. So yeah, thank you.